What is going on, brothers and sisters? Eric Rosen from Viking Rising Astrology. Thanks so much for being here with me today. I'm going to spend a little bit of time diving into this Mars retrograde because it's a doozy. It's a big one. It's this once in 2 year opportunity for us to dig deep into some, dare I say, inner child work so that we can become more creative, potent beings that know how to fill our own cup and find our own happiness. So this is the horoscope that you really want to tune into if you're really wanting to not just be happy, but for all of life to feel like you're the creator. It feels like you're, creating it with your own paintbrush, that you're creating with love. And I got to be honest, it's not going to be without its sting. It is Mars. It's a malefic. It's a harsh energy. It's masculine, It wouldn't feel good to probably have God pressing his thumbs down into your heart, which is Leo, right? But there is courage that can be had here. So we're going to talk about what this means, how you can deal with it. And what I want to say too is that if you need support during this time, because we're going from December 6th to, if I'm getting the date right, it's like February 27th. It's like the end of February. This is a deep dive into some really deep inner child territory that can carry, depending on your childhood, like grief, sadness, pain, heartache, heartbreak. Of course, this can be in your adult life though too, but this is the places where we have to really get clear what the heart blocks and the heart walls are, and just obstacles that we can't overcome without getting clarity on it first. And so in order to move into a more happy place. And so if you need help, the offer is 2 sessions. One's an astrology reading and one is timeline work, specifically for getting into these areas of what you experienced with your childhood, so that you can go back in time with me, get your time machine, find out what that inner child, that inner teen experience that maybe you kind of blocked out a little bit, and that's part of the reason that you're not feeling the most clear and happy in your life that you could be, that it's actually one of those wounds that comes up from the past. And in order to bring in a new identification, it's like you go in, you get the emotional clarity of what's going on, the emotional release happens, and then with that newfound clarity, there's not only a quantum integration that happens in the type of timeline work that I do, but you also get that action plan for moving forward. So from basically all of December through all of February, it's like primo time to like take care of these spaces. It's like, how do you know during this Mars retrograde, like if there's inner child stuff coming up for you? It's like, well, more of a repressive nature would be like self-defeat, maybe some isolation, despair, even depressed feelings, like feeling like you're not motivated to achieve or create in life in general. It's more of the victim side of things. And then the lesser known crowd, because this is the crowd that's probably more celebrated in our American culture, but the reactive nature would be someone who's like a high achiever, but they're hiding those inner child wounds, insecurities. Their lives probably got quite a bit of drama in their relationships, or they thrive on the drama, they thrive on the high octane energy of things, but they use it as fuel to like create excitement in their life, but it can actually be a little bit of like destructive excitement. And then if they don't get what they want, they get like pissy. There's a grandiosity to it. These are your people that are going to be, always talking about their wins, their celebrations, never leading on that anything's like wrong in their life. And so this is going to be a boot camp for those folks as well. So I'm willing to help out anyone in between that needs to get that type of clarity and do that timeline work. My toughest, I don't even like to call it coaching clients anymore, because what I do is so shamanic, but the toughest clients that I have are the ones that when they're blocked, it's like, it's timeline work. We go specifically to those ages where you have certain memories that, something happened, you tell me what you remember, and then we go into hypnosis and we bring the inner child, we bring the guides, the angels, and we get into that. So I think that's, an important structure for people to know too, that this is going to take some framework, you know, for you to like work through your inner child during this time. The reactive nature also on a collective level with this Mars retrograde can be, you know, people just getting really fucking pissy and frustrated that they're not getting what they want, and then they're willing to like go to war and even break their own heart and ignore their inner child in order to like get what they want. And then the drama just like keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and there's just more pressure. This is where collectively you could also see like more talks of war and things like that, unfortunately. This could be romantic situations where the only way that they'll work is if one person's being super selfless and the other person's okay with being selfish. You know, it's almost like a tie or a draw in a breakup situation where both people admit like this is just too dramatic, it's too much energy, like we're not able to see like eye to eye. And a lot of it probably is from inner child wounds too. Like most relationships could in theory work, it's just what are the wounded places that things are coming from, like with that. Because yeah, it's Mars retrograde, but what's Mars rules Aries, and what's there? North Node and Chiron. So this is like big healing stuff. This is big emotional healing work that, you know, is from those very formative early years in life. And so it's really just looking at any place that there's just not a sense of thriving, you know, crabby, frustrated, angry, just like, you know, getting triggered at like the littlest thing. And it's really your ego trying to protect the heartaches, the heart walls. And the funny thing is about this, and it's really not funny because it's really kind of like the collective unhappiness, probably especially in America, where it's like, this is the stuff that could go like undiagnosed, like even by like, you know, a professional counselor or something like that, because we've set the threshold so fucking low in this country for what happiness looks like. And like we've accepted like zombie populace of like fucking chemicals and everything, including the food and the water, and that we can just numb out on social media and just like binge on Netflix or call an ex or something for a booty call, or, you know, just like Edgar Allan Poe, our fucking way to creativity, just something that we do to like not like stare at the truth and the elephant in the room, which is that we could all stand to be a little happier. So I think that's all I really want to say for now. It is a malefic energy. It's like go to town. It's the heart. It's going to take courage. It's going to take processing grief. For those that don't remember their childhood, I would look very deeply into being brave enough to take it one step at a time to go look at that stuff, because I think it's worth it. Let's see what we got card-wise for this Mars retrograde. I felt like keeping it short and simple. It's Mercury fucking retrograde too in Sag. Like, it can be too much talky talk. Mars retrograde 2024 to 2025. What do you got for us? Heartbreak. I shuffled. Two of Wands, but in reversed. This is the Tarot Denial, by the way, for folks that are curious about what deck. And this is the World card in reverse. So, you know what? Yeah, maybe we don't know where our long term is going or future. Like, not everything's complete. I think we're going to have to face the heartbreak of why it feels that way, and probably also why we're not okay with that. One more card, Knight of Swords, but in reverse. Like, it's a slowdown. It's a slowdown. It's a slowdown and a showdown, you know, to process the experience of, you know, what's on the heart. Just remember, Mars retrogrades are always about going in a better direction where we can be more strong and defined in what we really want on the other side of it. And so it's being okay with like the kind of hard-based contemplation of like, what is it that we need to like look into and be braver to face in order to feel that. And also knowing that you can always access this heart space with this Mars retrograde, regardless, like during this time, this is definitely about finding that courage, finding that tenacity, finding that conviction within yourself to see that there are better roads that you can pave for going forward and the actions that you are taking in your life. I'll be talking about this Mars retrograde, obviously, in other horoscopes as we go along, but wanted to kind of prepare everyone for what's coming starting December 6th. So if you want to do an astrology reading and do that timeline work to get prepared for, the long haul work, click on that link down below. It's a special link for that 2-session package. All right. Love you all. Take care.